Hey, good morning, everybody. Scary here. It's a Saturday, April 18th. It's going to rain in Cincinnati today. It's getting cloudy. That's fine. We need the rain. Anyway, today's episode is going to be called Ground Beef Part 2. And I felt I needed to have a Part 2. I had a viewer in my last, in that episode, Ground Beef, comment on that they liked eating London broil, which comes off of the leg of the cow. London broil, anything. Okay, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I'm gonna continue what I was saying. The London broil, he or she liked the London broil, and they said, should I take it to? Should I grind it myself? And I gave them. I didn't give them. I don't think I gave them the correct answer. So I want to touch on that answer. The answer is yes. If you like a particular cut of meat, then have it ground in the back by the butcher. Every single grocery store, I know this for the company I work for, every single store that my company had, and our company was not global, was nationwide. We had a huge grocer that I worked for. Every single store had a grinding machine in the back. And what I would do in that case, let's say you like this person, one of my viewers commented that liked the London broil, call the store that you shop in advance. Ask for the meat department. Tell them what you want to do. Say, hey, I'd like to grind my own meat. Do you have a grinder? And they'll say yes. And then you say, I'm going to come in and pick up some meat and bring it up to your counter. Could you grind it for me? And they'll say yes. They may ask for your name. Just say they know, but they won't. They won't. At least I wouldn't. So yeah, that's the answer to your question. Yeah, go ahead and grind your own meat. If you like London broil, yes, it would make a good hamburger. It would be super lean hamburger. You're going to get your protein from it if that's what you're after. But if you want something fattier and juicier, like a real juicy hamburger, get something fattier like chuck roast, like I mentioned. So that said, back when I first learned how to cut meat, now this is why I was talking about this in the ground beef episode. I started learning how to cut meat in the early 90s. I was an apprentice meat cutter. On the meat table, when we're cutting our meat, everything we were trimming, there was two buckets we would put the trim in. There was a super lean bucket, and then there was a fatty bucket. If I was cutting ribeye steaks or trimming up chuck roast or T-bones or strip steaks, I would dump it in the fatty bucket. If I was trimming up a whole round, meaning a round steak, London broil, eye round steaks, bottom round steaks, sirloin tips, these are all lean pieces of meat. Any scrap that I got off of there when I was cutting, that went in the lean bucket. And the reason why they did that was because so there's nothing wasted. There's virtually no wasted. Nothing wasted, no wasted. Nice English, Gary. And below you, underneath the table, is the bone bucket, the bone can, which fully loaded, fully weighed would be like 1,000 pounds. And they have a company that comes up and grabs it and takes it away once a week. And it's supposed to be all fat and bone that they will render and make dog food out of or something. I don't know how. I don't want to go into that yet. But that's called the bone can. It's huge. It's just like a giant garbage can, and it's underneath the meat block, the meat table. So when you're cutting meat, and if you're doing it properly, the way I was taught, there's virtually no waste. So at the end of your shift, you have two buckets. You have the lean bucket that you're putting your lean scraps in, and then you have the fatty stuff. Now, when people are getting a hamburger at a restaurant, or you're grilling out burgers, or your favorite burger is going to be something juicy, generally speaking, if you were buying your meat back in the 90s, you were getting it from that fatty bucket we used. And sometimes the fatty bucket didn't have enough fat, so we would take more fat chunks, and dump it in that bucket to make it juicier. That was considered regular ground beef. So we would take it back, we grind it through the mill, send it down the conveyor. The wrapper would wrap it, tag it, price it, put it in the case. It was 73%. The tag always said ground beef, 73% was an all ballpark figure. But that's what, if you're looking for something that's fatty and juicy, it's going to be labeled 73% ground beef. That shit is juicy. And that still comes in a tube in grocery stores. Even the competition that I worked, the company I worked for, we had competition. They all have tubes in the refrigeration section. It'll have the markings on it. 80% is chuck, 73% is the fatty shit. And that's what you want if you want a juicy burger. That said, I know I covered a lot of ground really quick, but I don't want this thing to go long today. I had a guy that followed me around every store I went to because I gave him what he wanted. I knew what he liked, and I knew exactly what I had to perform when I saw Bill. His name was Bill. Now, Bill, I met him like 10 years before I retired in one of the many stores I worked in. And my last home store that I was there for 7 years before I retired, he followed me to this new home store in a different part of Ohio, in the Cincinnati area. And he always bought 2 packages, family packs of ribeye steaks. A family pack it's usually 3 or 4 steaks to a tray. And so it's a long tray. The tray is probably about 18 inches long. And the family pack gets a better price on it. So if you buy it in family packs, it's going to be 20 cents cheaper per pound versus buying a single ribeye steak. And he always brought his steaks up, put them on my counter. I knew exactly what he wanted. I said, yeah, give me 5 minutes. I go back. I would grind in the grinder, maybe 6 or 7, how many it came to in his tray of ribeye steaks, in the grinder. Brought them out. Here you go. Gave him his ribeyes. Ground up ribeye. Talk about a juicy fucking burger. Ribeye steaks, ground up. Oh my God. It's expensive. It cost him a small fortune for me to do it. It was probably $30. But guess what? He didn't give a shit about the price. He wanted a quality, juicy-ass hamburger for his grill for he and his family. And I had a couple of other shoppers that would do that. And most of the time, they got fatty stuff. Most of the time, they got chuck roasts. And I mentioned that in my ground beef, my first ground beef episode. Chuck roast is the best chunk of meat you can use for a butcher like I was to grind up for your burger. It's going to be juicy as fuck. It's going to be the shit. It's going to be really, really good. And price point, it's going to be on a price point way cheaper than grinding up the ribeyes like this gentleman did. I also had people come up to my counter with family packs of strip steaks. And strip steaks are fucking juicy. Gary, you're saying fuck a lot. I'm sorry. It's a Saturday. Give me a break. He would get strip steaks in a family pack. I'll tone it down for the people that don't want to hear profanity. He would get strip steaks in family packs. And yet you can get more strip steaks in a family pack versus ribeye because it's a smaller steak. But I would grind it up for a couple customers at one of my home stores I had at the time. And that came out nice and juicy. Not as juicy as a ribeye, because a ribeye has a lot of fat on it. So that said, I don't know what direction grocery stores are going in. They're changing drastically weekly and yearly, more yearly. They're always trying to find a better way to save money, better way to build a mousetrap. And the company that I retired from, a lot of the stuff is coming in pre-ground. I mentioned that in my other episode, ground beef. You're getting pre-ground packages of sirloin, round, chuck, and lean stuff made by a company called Laura's Ground Beef. And it's all pre-ground. And I won't buy that. I won't eat it. I won't put that shit on my grill. I'm not doing it. So have your butcher grind up something off the floor. So the answer to the gentleman's question, or the woman, whoever who commented, made a comment on my comment page about they wanted to grind up some London broil. Absolutely, go for it. It'll be a nice lean ground beef, whatever you want to use it for. If you're going to put the London broil ground up in lasagna or making Swedish meatballs out of it, that's going to be great. If you want to make it a burger, it won't be as lean, it won't be as juicy, but it'll be a good burger, and you'll know exactly where it came from. That's the key. You'll know exactly where it came from, people. Get some stuff off the floor, whether it be a strip steak, a ribeye steak, a chuck roast, sirloin tip roast, anything. T-bone steak. Take it up to the counter and ask the butcher to grind it. He will grind it. And guess what? They won't charge you anything to grind it. That service is free. That's part of what we do as butchers. So yeah, going forward, the way things used to be aren't the way they are now. Companies are changing every year in how to save money, how to save money, how to save money. You're going to see more and more pre-ground beef. You're going to see more and more pre-cut steaks. It's going in that direction now. The days of the butcher are soon to be over. I think to some capacity, grocery stores will always have a meat cutter on hand because they have to cut the meat fresh for the service cases. But even then, that can be going away too, because I've seen it. This was right around COVID when they were, you know how things were for COVID. They were messed up. They were sending in pre-cut meat for the service case, already cut thick for the service case, and it looked good. So they were cutting that off site somewhere in some warehouse, maybe by a robot, an AI robot. Who knows? All I'm saying is the meat cutting of old that took place in the 90s and in the early 2000s, pardon me, my allergies are killing me. Those days are over and they will never repeat themselves. I don't know going forward if grocery stores in 10 years will have grinding machines in the back. They may not. If they take away meat cutting, that's their goal, is to take away the meat cutter. That's their goal, because they'll save money having it done off-site somewhere. And you can't blame them, really. I mean, it's a dying sport. And I'm glad I retired when I did, because it was changing and pissing me off every day. All the micromanaging that was going on. Oh, God, I don't want to. Don't make me go into that. I'm not going to. I could do that in another episode. Anyway, yeah, still get it ground up at the butcher counter. They'll be happy to grind it for you. A mom and pop store, a mom and pop's butcher, they'll do it for you. And if the day ever comes where they don't have grinders anymore, the butcher store, the grocery stores don't have grinders in the back, you can go on Amazon and order one, or go on Hobart's website, HOBART, Hobart. They do all. They carry all meat cutting items. Like they sell saws, meat slicers, and grinders. You can order a tabletop grinder and still grind your own meat. That's all I got, people. People? Is that what you say, people, Gary? It's early. Give me a break. It's a Saturday. I just woke up about an hour ago. That's all I got. Have a great day. I hope this helped people that are curious about cutting meat and grinding meat. I hope that helped everybody today, because it's the real deal. It's the way to go. Have a great Saturday. I'll probably catch up to you on Sunday with another episode. Take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out.